Almost wearing the suit.
Yep, and that's what they like about it. You almost have it on.
I know, you're having so much fun. Hello, this is Not a Spring Chicken. Yes, news continues. And just as the ESPY Awards happened last night, okay, I haven't even seen what the results are, but we do have Emmy nominations coming out today. And of course, The Office, again, politically correct, is the big winner. But for now, we're going to bring Oldecam on for comments on the headlines of today. And if you're wondering what he's standing next to, it's because we're getting ready to shoot the wrap-ups from the ESPY gifting suites.
And for those people, yes, she does eat continually.
And I love it. Sotomayor is no Sandra Day O'Connor, the columnist says.
Well, they said that one of the guys said that she's not going to be a uniter, and that most people that know her say that she's a real witch to work with.
Well, I've heard a couple of different things that have come out, is that she hasn't said anything to derail the findings. Of course, I've also heard that she hasn't been answering the questions either.
Yeah, she basically, well, she's either totally lied, the way it works with, either she was lying before or she's lying now. So that's the trick. I mean,
Guess what that probably means.
They said that she fits in quite well with the president because she's mean-spirited and has a bad temper.
Well, maybe that's why she got selected.
Yeah.
Senate panel, and of course she's Latino.
And she's a woman.
Yeah, a Latina woman. Senate panel approves plan to revamp the U.S. healthcare system.
Yeah, it came in. They said $600 million. The head of finance said it's actually $1.5 trillion, meaning they went over what they were planning to do by over 600. He said they were right with the $600 million. The $600 million is what they went over what they were planning.
Oh, really?
Yeah, when they announced we did it for $600 million, that was $600 billion more. They said it's going to totally bust the system that the richest people in the country will be working every other day for the United States government now.
Actually, you know what's going to happen is they're going to become less productive or find other ways to move the money around.
They're going to leave the country. They all agree with that. I mean, the rich people are planning to leave.
You know, and it's not just, they haven't just done it here, they've done it in many other countries around the world that came over here. Good, well, Canada will do well.
Well, they said also, the Congressional Budget Office said that you have to estimate you're going to lose X amount of percentage of what you're estimating you're going to bring in, because you're going to drive people out of business and people are going to leave the country rather than to
pay the taxes.
Yep.
A panel is named to examine causes of the economic crisis.
Yeah, basically they're going to be going after, they said that they know the cause of the economic crisis is George Bush.
Oh.
So that they've already, like they said last night, they'd already reached their conclusion before they held the panel hearings.
Yeah, how in the world do you do that unless maybe it's
well,
one-sided?
George Bush is responsible for everything.
Honduran interim leader, I'm willing to step down.
No, he said he will step down if the other person is not put back in charge, and since the other person
is not planning on leaving,
and so I know.
Sources: the former CIA director Tenet canceled secret hit teams.
Yeah, that's Tenet. Yep,
Tenet.
You're pronouncing it French. Tenet. No, that they said, well, yeah, they canceled because our our stupid Congress says you can't go knock off people. They do it all the time, but you're not supposed to get caught doing it.
Oh, well, there's the problem now, isn't it?
Clear and Present Danger by Clancy, you know, with Agent Ryan, and they're knocking off people.
Businesses worry about new burdens.
Yeah, well, there's one tax after another. Okay, here's what the Congressional Budget Office on what they said on health care alone. When they asked, did we hit the curve? And they said, there's no longer a curve because it's at least $1 trillion more than what you people estimated. $1 trillion. That puts it at $2.5 trillion now.
Well, you know what also will happen is just like when we were doing the bailouts, right?
Yeah.
If they're saying $2 trillion now or $3 trillion?
$2.5 trillion.
$2.5 trillion. By the time they finish, okay, before they pass all this, it's going to end up being like $5 trillion.
Yeah,
you know that.
And they're only going to cover like 27 million of the 50 million. They said they could have spent $1 trillion and just gave people private insurance and saved money.
You know, what if instead of spending $2.5 trillion, we just leave it the same and put $500 million into emergency care.
Yeah.
That might work.
That though.
Yeah. Let's see. Space Shuttle Endeavour blasts off from Cape Canaveral.
Finally, it took. But now, they think they may have hit space debris, and there's a possibility it could have to come back.
Oh no.
Actually, it's a possibility it may not even come back.
Really?
If they're examining it for debris, if it hit debris, means they got to go to the station and abandon the thing.
Australian authorities investigate mysterious penguin killings.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
I know. The country is full of people that are basically used to eat penguins.
You do?
Well, yeah.
Oh.
The Aborigines, that's sort of like a delicacy.
Oh, okay. States awash in stimulus money to weatherize homes.
Oh God, I mean, okay, they just gave tons of money. They don't have anybody to do it, and nobody wants it done. So it's another one of those stimulus things of Obama's was a disaster.
Police shoot, kill armed man near Capitol complex.
Yeah, some guy was acting suspicious, and Obama is basically paranoid at the moment.
I love those words, at the moment.
Yeah.
Senate confirms astronaut Bolden to head NASA.
Well, yeah, Bush tried to get him in, and one thing after another, he never got appointed. So
Really?
Yeah, Bush tried for years.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting that he couldn't get approved under Bush, and now
He got approved under Obama.
Really quickly. Pentagon won't ban war zone smoking despite study.
Well, yeah, because basically the hypocrite in chief smokes.
So they won't.
That's right.
Video of Jackson 1984 Pepsi burn accident surfaces.
Yeah, I wondered about when the possible switch happened. It happened after the accident because he was massively burnt.
Oh,
I mean, I saw the close up. I mean, the whole back side of his head was burnt down to the scalp and beyond his face. He had 2nd and 3rd degree burns on his head, face, and hands.
Well, then after such a burn like that, you really can't grow hair back in those areas, can you?
Nope.
Which means you'd have to have a wig.
And he wasn't wearing a wig. Gee whiz, did anybody figure out how a black person becomes white? How a person that can't grow hair back has now full head of hair and doesn't have any talent anymore? Did he die as a result of the accident?
NASCAR, Mayfield again tests positive for meth.
Yeah, he's saying that basically it was a phony test, and his mother testified against him. He said they paid my mother off to testify that I take meth.
What?
They could care. Okay, first of all, folks, they don't even have to let him race, so there's no reason for NASCAR. I mean, well, it's just like us. We're not. We're online, so the NASCAR and IndyCar won't let us participate. So that's how simple it is. They make the rules.
They make the rules as to who can cover. Talking about rules, I hear that some of the companies that receive bailouts are getting ready to report record profits.
Yeah, almost all the companies most of the financials that receive bailouts have got record profits, which is driving the business. But it didn't make any money. They just basically used the TARP money to settle on and drew interest.
Well, I guess it's however you make money, huh?
Yeah, with CIT, though, they're letting go under. Which basically, they said somebody at CIT pissed off Obama.
They're letting it go under? I thought they were on the too big to fail list.
No, they're trying to say, well, there's no company too big to fail. It means they got Obama.
Somebody got pissed off because before they were too big to fail, so they were trying to take them over. Now they're just going to let them.
That's right. Which basically, and another reason for this, Obama is not anti-small business. Guess where most of the small business loans in this country come from?
Are you serious? They come from Citicorp?
CIT. They also are the backers of Baskin Robbins, Dunkin' Donuts, a lot of the... they provide financing for a lot of the franchises in this country. And they said, well, don't worry. They will easily be able to obtain new financing in this new climate.
Well, doesn't that kind of go with what they're trying to do with healthcare? It's like they have all a lot of the franchisees.
Yeah.
A Monty Bubbleism from the Mark Twain of the animal kingdom.
Okay, obviously you're never too big to fail.